Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. And today, as you can see, I have yet another excuse me, in this case, superheroine, film to review for you folks. Yeah, small comic book stuff. Because why not? I know this seems to be like a popular thing nowadays, of course. But then again, it always was, in one way or another, I guess. It's like one of those trends that never really truly died, I guess. So even though I've already reviewed this film, so I'm gonna be reviewing the director's cut. So yeah, bought this out of Amazon. It's the archive collection, of course. So yeah, it's I guess it's $17. That's kind of like with tax, it's gonna be roughly $20 ish, somewhere around there, I guess. Then plus, I guess shipping and handling that's gonna be over $20, but still seems a bit of a steal though because of the fact that you're getting two movies for one, I guess. Which I'll get into in just a moment, I guess. But you're gonna get the Superman films, yeah, all four of them with the Superman Returns, I guess. That's gonna be a lot of money. Well, if you've got a good credit card, you guys can use that if you want. I'll put it on there. But anyway, so yeah, folks, I bought this out of Amazon, and yeah, just thought I was gonna watch the theatrical cut. I mean, rewatch, I guess, but you gotta pay Prime for that, which I didn't want to do really. And yes, of course, before anyone says it, obviously, yes, the picture quality is much better. Of course, I like the picture quality. Of course, I'll come back to the picture quality in a moment. I guess you can say I'll be back to this in a moment. But yeah, folks, I just thought I'd talk about this because I reviewed different editions before, different versions of certain movies. Anyway, so why not do this? Of course. But yeah, I just thought, yeah, might as well, folks. So anyway, as usual, folks, obviously have to talk about the plot. So yeah, I'll be real brief about this since I've already discussed this. Anyway, let's get into it. So yeah, Supergirl isn't. She's searching for this magical thing. I guess this ball, but it lands on Earth, and she goes to Earth. I guess she's with the survivors of the Krypton when it was destroyed or whatever. And she's yeah with her father, with her family. I guess whole side of family anyway. And yeah, as references to the previous Superman films, well, Superman 1, 2, and 3 anyway, were brought up because of the fact that, she's supposed to be related to him, the cousin or whatever, I guess you can say. Like, she gets talked about, like, in that manner with Superman quite a few times throughout the movie. And there's this whole bit where she goes to school, of course, and yeah, and that's obviously going to be a thing in this movie, so it makes sense in that regard. So yeah, there was of course behind the scenes stuff like testing the costume and whatnot, which I thought would look pretty cool actually. Just throwing that out there. So yeah, but anyway, at the school, there's like this school thing. She makes some friends, of course, who would become a major part of the film, of course. And those scenes that were extended in this version, and scenes that didn't make into the theatrical version, of course. Now you mentioned that review, a lot of it came out really chopped up, and some of the deleted scenes, extended scenes made in this version, of course. So yeah, definitely, it's like I said, it was worth the price. Like we were saying earlier, folks, this has two discs, and yeah, two different versions of the movies here, which by the way does not include the theatrical cut. This has the international cut, which was never seen before in the United States, and this release was was brought in the stores in 2018. By the way, so I guess you would say the really shitty version of this film was released in what 1984. Holy shit, that's over 30 years. Finally, the better version was released. Again, I'm just talking about the director's cut, and that's it. The international cut, I'm not going to review right away because I'm not seeing it just of yet. And whenever I get the chance, I guess I get to it. Just thought it out there. The Supergirl director's cut is on DVD, which the quality, like I was saying, it's actually pretty good. So there's that. Better than the VHS release that they have for this film, of course. But yeah, I've not seen the other version, just so you know. Just the theatrical cut and the Director's cut. Yes, I would say it's definitely an improvement over the other version, the one that was in theaters. So yeah, the director's cut is definitely an improvement over the actual cut, folks. The director's cut is definitely better, of course. And the pacing issues was not much of a problem like it was in that version. The editing wasn't much of a choppy like it was in that one. It's definitely more tolerable. I guess it's definitely more bearable. It's more watchable. I'll give it that. So yeah, like I was saying, the picture quality, despite it being on DVD, is still quite good compared to the other version that was released. So I'll give it that. I did like it a lot more. Of course, especially on that. The the flying sequences when she was flying around was actually quite good considering the time that was released. So the special effects actually do look rather nice. I mean, it still has like this campy feel to it, sure, but it still seems nice considering when it was made, of course. So overall, I can say this definitely has the better. The music was good. The sound quality of this version was very nice. I really like the sound quality in this. The sound quality was really well done here, folks, and the music, yo boy, the music here was really nice. It's probably one of the best aspects of the film. The music, the music was really nicely done. It really gives you this adventurous feel to it, folks. This like this curious, adventurous tone, I guess you can say. Yeah, as I said in my previous video when I was reviewing the theatrical version, yeah, no, I'm bringing that up again. But like I said in that video, she really looks like she could play the part. She was like really made for this role. It just feels like, yeah, it took so long for the better version to be released. Yeah, roughly a little bit more than 30 years apart, the theatrical version and the director cut version. Which, like I keep saying, as it was obvious enough, it is better, sure, but still, though, it's like, could you just imagine the opportunities that this could have been if if the if this version was actually released in theaters? I don't know if it would have saved the franchise, but it's worth a shot. It's just unfortunate that a lot of people was left with I guess, the shitty version of this movie instead of this one. And yeah, it's just unfortunate. Yeah, the actress, like I was saying a moment ago, and in my previous video, she does look the part. Oh yeah, yeah. Just for some reason, the TV show kind of feels like it's whatever. I guess just whatever. Anyway, by the way, there is a comic book version based off of this movie. I guess you can say it was based off of some of the deleted material. I guess you can say to flesh out the characters or whatever. Well, a specific character anyway. So, which by the way, if you want to find the comic book versions based upon this, you could try looking around, but I would suggest looking at the price range because the price will vary, of course. So, if I go to eBay, that's where I saw this. It's on eBay. I don't know if it's on Amazon, but you can try to look, I guess. I'm just throwing it out there. So, look around, of course. And yeah, it's definitely something you could look into if you want. So, yeah, it's based upon the film. At least to at least an extent, I guess. To some extent, it is, I suppose. But yeah, to some extent, it is based on the movie, like specifically the deleted scenes anyway. So I guess there was that, I suppose. Just throwing that out there because I know there is a fan base for this film. They do actually genuinely like this film. But I can say again, like I said, excuse me if I'm repeating myself. It is better than the theatrical version of this film. So yeah, it's definitely more enjoyable. You can say that, and it's definitely better than Superman 3, which is hot garbage as far as I'm concerned. On a good day, it's mediocre, and that's just me being nice right there. And yeah, it's I liked it more than that. It's more of a better experience, I guess, in comparison, I suppose. And since I brought up Superman here, yeah, since we're talking about Superman here, and it's definitely massively improved over the Quest for Peace. Holy shit, that was really awful. And but yeah, definitely more better than that. Yeah, I can even compare Supergirl, the director's cut. I can even compare it to, let's say, even the Zack Snyder film Man of Steel. Really, I've kind of felt like that one's depressing for its own sake, I guess. But this movie was not like that. It was definitely not depressing just to be depressing. And it's just why gotta go there? I don't know. And I can honestly say it was definitely more bearable compared. Yeah, I liked it more than the theatrical version of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. What a pile of shit that was. I mean, hell, the Ultimate Edition was still pretty bad. Still garbage. Ugh. It just, no, it didn't work. And I didn't like the theatrical version of Justice League either. I'm gonna be honest here, folks, because it was pretty corny in a lot of ways. And I know there's the Zack Snyder's version, I guess, his director's cut. But I'm not really interested in seeing it, really, if I'm honest here, folks. It's just that Jack Snyder's films just comes off over depressing, sad, gloomy, just to have it there for its own sake. I mean, don't get me wrong. You could be in a superhero movie like Superman, Supergirl, or whatever. Sure, be my guest. But just throwing it in there just for its own sake, it just seems rather pessimistic. Which, yes, that's funny coming from me because I complain a lot on this channel. And I'm still going to complain about stuff, about some stuff or whatever. But point being, is it's context. I guess you would say. What matters is the execution, I suppose, and how you deliver it in some sort of interesting way, I guess. So yeah, it depends how it's done. Ultimately, that's what I'm getting at. It depends how it's done, and depending on what the premise is. But just for its own sake, I mean, no, just no, not just to do it. You have to have a sense of wonder that this movie has, and to some extent, that's what this movie has, a sense of wonder. I guess in some ways, and I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, have its own adventurous tone, right? So that's something I can appreciate. So that's something. Getting mad at me. Oh boy, Zack Snyder's fan base. Oh no! How dare I buy a girl movie? Don't you dare buy a girl movie, killer. And I speak to myself in third person. Don't buy that. Yeah, I know they're gonna be telling me that I shouldn't buy women movies. I guess.
Don't tell me what to do.
Oh yeah, oh boy, Alphys and I haven't already given a lot of bullshit on his site. Oh boy, because bullshit. Yeah, like case in point, here's some Jesus freak over here to talk all kinds of bullshit. I mean, I'm not gonna be dwelling too much on this because this is just something we're going through still to this very day. Yep, because some dumbass reason, just because him and I would of course support the LGBT plus community and the fact that we don't mind having female characters be the leads. That's extremely stupid. Okay, so what? Leave him alone. Yeah, like I said, folks, I don't want to draw too much on this, really, just throwing it out there because of some asinine reason. Well, there you go. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. Like, at all. People, I don't understand people. Christ. Alright, I know I'm always complaining about something. I know. Anyway, moving on from that bullshit. Just pretty much bottom line, as if it was an obvious enough, is that it's definitely worth the purchase. I guess you would say if you don't mind paying roughly $20, I guess, and whatnot. So yeah, the villain of the story has this little magical ball thing over here, folks, and she's supposed to be some sort of witch. And yes, of course, Supergirl herself is looking for this ball thing. She wants it and whatnot. So yeah, there you go, I guess. But it doesn't bother me that the villain of the story is a woman. So kind of makes this feel like anybody can be the villain, regardless of your gender. Man, woman, it don't matter. You can be the bad person anyway, regardless of whatever gender you have. It doesn't matter. You can still be an asshole. Anyway, regardless. Like I said, there's already a cult following for this movie anyway. Yeah, just too bad we never got a sequel. Like I said before in my previous video for this, yes, they were gonna do sequels. I'm not sure how many exactly, but there will be definitely another one. Maybe 3 parts, 4 parts. I don't know. I don't know how many exactly, but there will be definitely its own spin-off franchise, but it didn't do that well in the box office. But yeah, like I was saying, like you're seeing the text in front of you. Yeah, there's gonna be quite a few additional scenes, and yeah, which makes the film a lot longer actually. So there you go. Some context is always needed. Some context is given, of course, here, folks, to make the story make a bit more sense. So it kind of covers some of the plot holes that was in the theatrical version, I guess you can say. So there's that. Like I said, again, I know I keep referring to the my previous video, but like I said in that video, is that when it comes to films, yes, editing can make or break a movie. And then I guess this proves it. It feels like a whole other movie in that regard. It feels like a completely different movie. The way it's choreographed is actually quite nice. I couldn't really enjoy it in the theatrical cut because it was all choppy to no end. Like I was saying in my previous video, that was really choppy to no end. But thankfully, the editing here is far superior, I guess you can say. So the way it was choreographed, it was actually quite nice. It's really nice to look at, even though it's an older movie, of course. So unfortunately, yes, the better version of this film is sadly overlooked, of course, folks. So yeah, it's kind of sad because this was actually halfway decent. So yeah, it's really nice to look at on a visual level, folks, and whatnot. And the story feels better. And no, I'm not trying to say that this version in the film is Citizen Kane by any means. It really isn't. But it's just more enjoyable compared to what I just mentioned earlier, folks. While the script itself still feels like it's uneven in some ways, I guess you can say, but it has moments, of course. Again, yeah, it's kind of entertaining in some little way. I mean, yes, it really feels like an 80s movie. It really does. Yeah, but I don't mind that really in some ways. And yes, of course, if this is your cup of tea when it comes to, if you're like a fan of 80s movies, then definitely get this version. So it's still not perfect by any means, but it's way more bearable, is what I'm getting at. If it's not that obvious, I guess. Yes, it's still cheesy in some ways, yes, but still. But oh no, I can't really complain too much, I guess you can say. So anyway, I'll give this version an overall rating of a 6.8 out of 10. It's a 6 out of 10 for me. And as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh yeah, later.